Imagine being able to teleport back to the past while keeping all the awareness and experience you have today. What would you say to your younger self? Which mistakes would you avoid? In this video, I promise you that you won't just discover fundamental life lessons, but I'll also teach you a secret to shaping your future that you can start applying by the end of this video. Let's begin with lesson number one. Always stay true to yourself. We hear it all the time, but have you ever stopped to ask yourself what it really means? And what do you risk by not doing it? Pretending to be someone you're not will only lead you to attract people who like the character you're playing, not the real you. You might be thinking, so what's the problem? The problem is that we often buy clothes, cars, and attend events we're not even interested in just to fit in with others. Think about it. Isn't it true that you bought your car to impress your friends? And your new phone? Not to mention your shoes and your clothes. Sure, you like them, but deep down, didn't you do it to show them off to the people around you and prove that you're successful? This attitude, besides being extremely damaging to your life because it can take you away from your real goals, pushes you to spend more money than you can actually afford, or more than you would have wanted to allocate to one category instead of another, leading you to live paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. It seems like nothing, right? You're thinking this has never happened to you, correct? To understand how powerful our desire to feel accepted is and how many mistakes it makes us commit without even realizing it, we need to go back to the 1950s and Solomon Asch's experiments. You're in a room with other people and you're asked something very simple, to say which of three lines matches a reference line. The answer is obvious. You can't get it wrong. Write it in the comments and let's see if you would have passed the test. But here's the core of the experiment. You are the only real participant. Everyone else is an actor following a script. At first, everyone gives the correct answer. Then, suddenly, the actors unanimously start choosing a clearly wrong line. At that point, you find yourself at a crossroads. Do you trust your own eyes, or do you go along with what everyone else is saying? The results were shocking. As many as 75% of participants chose to follow the group's wrong answer at least once, even though they could clearly see that the correct answer was different. But why did they do it? Many admitted that they were no longer sure of their answer and felt an extremely strong desire to conform to the others. And this teaches us a fundamental lesson. Social pressure is so powerful that we often prefer to betray our own judgment and authenticity just to avoid feeling excluded or risking being wrong. And that leads us to make mistakes we otherwise wouldn't make. Are you sure that job is right for you just because everyone says so? Are you sure that in your situation, buying a house is better than renting just because you see everyone else doing it? Are you really sure that the traditional life is meant for you? Every life is unique. You are unique. Remember that conforming only takes you further away from yourself and from how you truly want to live your life. Let's move on to the second lesson. Health is everything. Most of us take our health for granted, especially when we're very young, forgetting that every action has consequences. When everything is going well, we don't appreciate how lucky we are. We only realize it when something negative happens. We neglect our bodies in the pursuit of money, sacrificing diet and exercise, and adopting bad habits. This is a losing trade. Would you trade your life with someone who owns 100 million but is so sick they can't even get out of bed? Of course not. So why do you often sacrifice hours of your life working overtime for a small amount of money instead of using that time to stay in shape and take care of yourself? Health is what allows us to fully enjoy life. Without it, we are limited. And to protect it, it's essential to make small, correct decisions that in the long run will make all the difference. Get enough sunlight, sleep enough, exercise regularly, and learn to manage stress. Avoid junk food, smoking, alcohol, and unnecessary risks. It sounds exhausting, but once you manage to turn these into habits, you'll do them without even thinking about it. But how do we create and maintain these good habits? This is where the third lesson comes in. If you control your environment, you control your life. We often think self-control is a matter of willpower, but it's not, because constantly resisting temptation requires too much mental energy. The best approach instead is to optimize your environment so that self-control becomes unnecessary. For example, if you don't buy sweets, you won't have to resist the temptation to eat them. The laziness of having to go to the store will make the craving disappear on its own. On the other hand, make positive habits as easy as possible. Keep a bottle of water within reach if you want to drink more, or keep a book on your nightstand if you want to read. By creating obstacles for what you shouldn't do and making it easy to do what you should, it will be easier to create and maintain new habits, and as a result, improve your life. Another common mistake is neglecting rest. Lesson number 4 is that your mind also needs rest, just like your muscles after a workout. In today's world, many jobs require intense cognitive effort. A programmer writing code all day may seem still at their desk, but their brain is running at full speed. Unfortunately, we're often told to just push harder, but the brain needs time to process information, especially if you have to learn something. I explain it in the video you see on screen, where I teach you the ultimate science-based method to learn anything in much less time and remember it for life. And if you want to take your life to the next level, improving a little every single day so that in 1 year you'll be a completely new person, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. But be careful, watching TV or scrolling through social media does not count as real rest because these activities further overload the mind with new information. True recovery happens with activities that keep the body active but allow the brain to switch off, like a 30-minute walk, taking a shower, or doing simple household chores. It's in these moments that the best ideas often come because we finally allow the brain to process what it has learned. When it comes to productivity, lesson number 5 is about managing energy, not time. Energy levels fluctuate throughout the day, creating peaks of focus and moments of fatigue. Planning your most important work during your peak energy peaks allows you to achieve better results in less time. And usually, even if it may not seem like it, the best time to tackle the most complex tasks is in the morning right after waking up. Ideally, you should dedicate the first part of your day to tasks that require the most mental energy and the afternoon to more routine tasks. You could complete 80% of what you need to do in a day in just a couple of hours if you worked during your peak mental clarity using the deep work technique I talk about in the video you see on screen. But be careful, hard work alone is not enough. If you work hard on the wrong thing, you'll only get mediocre results while feeling exhausted. The secret is to focus mainly on tasks that align with your natural strengths. Unlike school where you're forced to study everything and are judged on every subject, even those you're not naturally good at, in life you can choose what to focus on the most. Are you good with numbers but not with relationships? You should look for a job that allows you to work with numbers in an office. Do you have a talent for building relationships and speaking? You should probably become a salesperson. When you follow your natural inclinations, improvement happens almost spontaneously, and a self-reinforcing cycle of success and motivation is created. So identify what gives you energy and excites you. Those are your true skills. And remember that even traits considered weaknesses, like being too meticulous or too talkative, can become strengths if placed in the right context. The 5th lesson is the most important of all, the butterfly effect. Every small choice you make shapes your future. A tiny action can trigger extraordinary effects over time. We often ignore micro decisions because they seem insignificant in the moment. Reading 2 pages of a book, doing 5 minutes of exercise, one kind word. But these choices compound over time, just like bad decisions do. Not brushing your teeth today doesn't seem serious, but turn it into a habit and then see what happens. Improving by 1% every day makes you 37 times better after a year. You don't notice it because progress is often invisible until you reach a tipping point. It's like water boiling. When you put it on the stove, it seems like nothing is happening until it starts to boil. All the previous heat wasn't wasted. It was energy building up, waiting to reach the boiling point. So keep reading those pages and doing those push-ups even when you don't see immediate results. Keep skipping dessert and investing something every month. The results will come. And once you start, it's much easier to keep going. Instead of learning 2 new words in a language, learn 3. Instead of walking for 10 minutes, walk for 12. These small upgrades accelerate progress toward your goals without you even realizing it. The difference between a slightly better life and a significantly better one is not one big decision made once, but the accumulation of thousands of small daily decisions. The problem is that you can know exactly what to do to improve your life and still not actually do it. Because the real obstacle isn't knowing what to do, nor starting to do it. The real obstacle is the way your mind is programmed to make decisions. Your mind is the result of millions of years of evolution and has been programmed to help you survive. It's the reason we prefer high-calorie foods over healthy ones, why we spend all our money instead of saving and investing it, and why it's easier to develop bad habits than good ones. The problem is that today the world is very different from what it used to be, and the habits that would have saved you back then now lead you to ruin. You can try to change them, but you'll never be able to change the way your mind works. Or can you? If you want to stop fighting against your own nature and start achieving real, lasting results, watch the video you see on screen where I explain how to reprogram your mind through the principles taught by the world's most famous motivational coach, Tony Robbins. Actors, billionaires, and even famous and powerful politicians have relied on his guidance to achieve extraordinary results. Now it's your turn. Watch the video.